My name is Gonsalves. I'm an NLP practitioner and NLP for Kids practitioner. And today I'd like to continue my series on how NLP can help you with your pain. This series is not a cure for your pain, but more of an add-on to whatever treatment you're getting to help you manage your pain. Today's topic is anchoring. And anchoring is really good because it actually kind of adds on to the previous video, which is how to get to your happy place or your relaxed place, or that place where you can just let your pain go. Anchoring is defined as being able to get into a frame of mind or state of mind or state of body by means of an external source or trigger. Now these triggers happen through your five senses: seeing, smelling, tasting, hearing, and the most powerful one in NLP, which is touch. Anchoring was discovered by a scientist called Ivan Pavlov. And what Pavlov did was, he had a dog, and every time the dog came to eat its dinner, he basically would ring a little bell. And every time the dog came, he'd ring the bell, and he did this over and over and over and over and over. So then one day, he just didn't put down the food and he just rang the bell, and he noticed that the dog still came looking for the food. So the anchor was an auditory hearing anchor for the dog, because the dog associated the sound of the bell with the food, or dinner in this case, which is quite interesting. Surprisingly enough, I can actually show you a slight demonstration on that Pavlov experiment right behind me, actually, with my fish. Now, while the fish can't hear me, the fish will actually be anchored to any visual representation that comes to this side of the tank, because it thinks that anything that comes to this side of the tank is food. So as you can see, if you go here and you do this, if you notice, all the fish are coming to there. So that's basically an anchor for the fish, saying that anything that comes on this side of the thing, oh, there's got to be food there, there's got to be food there. Thank you, fishies. Always good to have visual demonstrations. A lot of other anchors, for example, hearing anchor. For me personally, if I hear somebody call me by my full name, it's like tense, because that's how my teachers in school used to be. They used to call me by my full name and I knew I was in trouble. So now if anybody calls me by my full name, I'm like, oh God, I'm in trouble. Jesus. Whoa. That's the example, again, of a hearing anchor. Smelling anchor, for example, is if you pass the local bakery and they have the fresh bread baking, you smell that nice fresh bread and suddenly your mouth salivates. Oh yeah, that bread would taste really good for you. Tasting, again, if you taste, for me it's Christmas dinner. When I'm eating my turkey, I get that flashback of having Christmas dinner at my grandmother's house when I was a young boy. So I get that feeling of what it was like for me as a child, and the happiness of that moment being with my grandmother at Christmas time, my grandfather at Christmas time. And that's bringing back those memories, those feelings of that day for me. That's the tasting anchor. And touch. For example, you're with your partner and your hand just gently brushes her or his hand, and you get that feeling of love, that spark, what they call the love spark. Well, that's what you get when or you're holding hands and you feel like that sense of security, because that's an anchor, because that's what that person brings out in you, that feeling of security. And by touching that person, you get that feeling coming back to you. This is why anchoring is really important, especially with managing your pain. Because once you get into that state, and you know how to get to that relaxing state, you want to be able to bring that state back to you right away. And this is why anchoring is really important. So if you go back and look at my previous videos, and you understand that you can get into that state by seeing what you see, feeling what you felt, and hearing what you hear, and just basically immerse yourself into that memory of feeling relaxed, feeling happy, feeling content, or whatever it takes for that pain to just subside just a little bit for you. That's great. But then you want to keep it. So what you do is, when you get into that state, see the previous video if you can't remember how to get in the state, or if you'd like after this video to go back and look at that video and maybe help you get into that state. What you want to do is you want to wait until that feeling of relaxation, happiness, content gets to its peak, where you feel like it's just so great and so good. And then what you want to do is you want to take your two fingers and press them together like this and squeeze for about 15 seconds and then release. Yeah? Basically what you've done is you've anchored those good feelings to the motion of touching the two fingers together like this. Now, the reason why I give you this is because it's a very unique touch. Not very often you do this motion in your everyday life, so that you're not going to be able to trigger that motion, that anchor, constantly. So if you want to go back and look at the video and then give that a try and see how that works out for you. That's just basically anchoring in a nutshell. In the next video I will basically show you how I will take you through the entire thing, how to get into that state and do the anchoring. But if you'd like to go off and try and do the anchoring yourself, be my guest. So if you like, you can also subscribe to my site by the subscribe button below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. My email address will be down there. My website will be down there. If you want to contact me or see what other services I offer, it will be down there in the comments section. But until then, I hope you have a pain-free day and have a good time. Bye-bye.